Of course, as the eldest son, he was in charge of the family entertainments. And if you look at the things that he did for them in childhood, a lot of those things would then be recycled, returned to in the Alice books. For instance, putting together magazines, little snippets, fragments of the magazines, and putting on marionette shows. And it's a very theatrical world he creates in Alice in Wonderland. And even, in fact, some of the individual stories, like there's a long and sad tale of a dog, which includes a very bad illustration of a very long tail straggling across the page, which, of course, is then returned to in the Dormouse's tale. So in some ways, it's the seedbed of a lot of what we think of as Alice in Wonderland. But also more generally, one thing I did notice just looking out of my bedroom window when I was staying there is what a beautiful walled garden it was, where he spent an awful lot of his time before he was sent off to rugby. It's a very similar kind of garden and size of garden to the one he would also have looked at when he was a sub-librarian at Christ Church, and the deanery garden where he would have seen the little girls playing. It's almost identical. So I think there is an odd way in which, looking through the glass at the deanery garden, it would have been like one of those strange time-lapse kind of mirrors in which he would have thought that he was, treading back in time. But again, telling stories, but being in charge as a grown-up. Very quickly, Sylvie and Bruno is a patchwork of very interesting fragments in a disastrous novel, but that itself says something about the way in which he wrote, which was to piece together tiny, tiny fragments and hope that they would create a meaningful pattern. In the Alice books, he succeeded. I think in Sylvie and Bruno, he didn't.